guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. Today we're going to go ahead and take down Cell Max. So, along with Gamma 1 and Gamma 2's introduction into Dokkan, they also made, honestly, quite a few changes here to the Cell Max event and how it's structured and added new missions and stuff like that, right? So, the biggest thing to keep in mind, right, is that two categories got damage buffs against Cell Max. And specifically, it's damage buffs, right? It's not, you know, anything else. So it's like Gamma 1, Gamma 2, like, you know, I don't know, AGL, Ginyu, right? Like, these characters are not tanking better. Special Pose or Artificial Life Form. They just do 210% extra damage. I believe that there's an extra damage buff on top of this, for characters from Dragon Ball Super Superhero, right? So right now, it's Gamma 1 and 2's SSR and TUR, and then the base form Gohan that's free from, like, farmable from the free event. But, I mean, the base form Gohan is AGL, Gamma 2 is AGL, right? So, Gamma 1 is the best unit, probably in the game for this fight. I did a number of runs. Today, we'll upload videos on both missions. Right, this first one is Artificial Life Form. I found this much easier than Special Pose. So Gamma 1 leads Artificial Life Form. Gamma 2 leads Special Pose. I just think Gamma 1 is a lot better than Gamma 2. I'm sorry. Just like the... I don't know how to explain it. Like, defensive RNG feels more consistent than offensive RNG. I don't know. Using offensive characters, like... and having to rely on them, you know, quadruple critting and shit like that, feels way worse to me than relying on, like, dodge characters and shit, right? I don't know, maybe that's just me. But this run with Artificial Life Form, I mean, I wouldn't say, like, at a glance, I'm not like, oh my god, this team is way better than the Special Pose roster of the units that I did. I just feel like it's like having double Gamma 1 over double Gamma 2 for this fight is just so much better, right? Like, double Gamma 1 does so much better in here. Now, the thing that's very difficult about both missions, right, again, here we're doing Artificial Life Form, is that because of not only the extra damage buff, but I believe, again, that there's an even furthermore extra damage buff because the Gammas are superhero characters, they shred Cell Max so fast. Like, do not post clips of, like, oh my god, look at the way Cell Max gets shit on by the Gammas. Dude, like, they take off all of his health in, like, a hit, right? Like, Gamma 1 gets one crit on either of the first two phases, basically, and, like, Cell is dead, right? Like, it becomes very difficult, actually, in here, running these Gammas, because the first two phases die in seconds, right? Like, I have to try my best to go out of my way to not get super attacks. Gamma 2, like, the second he gets an attack off, Cell's dead, right? Like, the first two phases, he dies. I have not, like, had, like, basically almost any times where I have not just completely eradicated Cell with Gamma 2 on rotation. And it becomes difficult, right? Because the Gamma 1s need to be hit, right, in order to build up. And then Gamma 2 needs to attack. And it's just really not feasible to get all this build-up before we get to the final phase of Cell Max, right? Especially for me, right? Because I build my Gamma, all my Gammas with a lot of dodge. And the Gamma 1s specifically, right? We have two Gamma 1 TURs on this run, and we have Gamma 1's SSR here. They have a lot of dodge in them, so there's times where they'll dodge a couple of normals that would have done no damage and would have built them up. But throughout a lot of my runs, too, I dodged many, like, kill shot super attacks from Cell Max. In my experience, Gamma 1's SSR, with, like, a wanked turn, perfect RNG, he might be able to survive a super from Cell Max barely, but it's like Gamma 1's SSR can tank normals, and that's it. Gamma 1, though, this Gamma 1, he could eat a super attack from Cell Max easily, right? Especially if we get to this phase of Cell Max very fast. The faster we get here, if Gamma 1 has his guard up, right, which we do still have right here, we could eat a super from this Cell Max no problem at all, right? We would have no issue here. And once we get to this final phase, you know, you guys know how it is. It really is a race against the clock, against this final phase of Cell Max. You just really need to do as much damage as possible, because the fact that this guy double supers is just very problematic. And he can lock your rotations, of course, You know, the locks typically do result in just an L, right? Like, right away, like, most of the time. But the one good thing, too, about the Cell Max event, no restrictions, right? Doesn't cost stamina, no daily restriction or nothing like that, so we could just go in and we could just, you know, sort of toast the event. So, LR Metal Cooler gets killed right here. We revive, right? Like, you know, yeah, awesome. LR Metal Cooler actually does, I think, put in quite a bit of work in this run, because I believe later on we do get his active skill off as well, which does heal us for quite a bit, which is really good. Metal Cooler's revive can be very handy, right? When he came out, me and many others were saying this about him, that, like, you know, he might have a long lifespan, longer than a lot of other meta characters right now because of this, right? That type of like, you could use him in, like, an easy A, potentially, right? Just as, like, a reset. Imagine you go into the turn, Metal Cooler's, like, on the team without a leader skill. You're at, like, 10% HP going into the turn. You just have Metal Cooler die, bam, and you just revive with full health, right? So, like, that could be a pretty useful ability. Okay, so here, remember that Gamma 1, right? So this Gamma 1, is his passive is fully built up. He can easily survive a super attack. We would have no issues with him. I think if Cell Max supered right here, does he super? I think he must, does he? No, he doesn't. Okay. I think Cell Max would have done around 100k-ish to Gamma 1. Again, Gamma 1 is ridiculous, right? I think Gamma 1, you know, he's a top 5 unit in the game for sure. Now, Gamma 2, oh my god, nice turn, Gamma 2. Yeah, again, we got very unfortunate luck with where Gamma 2 was sort of placed in the opening rotations. Gamma 1's SSR takes damage, he dodges, we win. We won off of me giving Gamma 1's SSR full dodge, right? Like, when I'm giving a lot of characters dodge these days, it's because this is how a lot of events are. I think min-maxing bleeding every point of crit and additional out of your characters, I just feel like you're not really... I don't want to say you're playing wrong. You're definitely playing wrong if you give your characters 0 dodge. If you don't even give yourself a chance, I think it's just foolish, right? But I don't really get behind, again, bleeding every single point out of crit and additionals. It's like, you're not killing these bosses before they get attacks off. You're not. You're not gonna, like, with perfect RNG, right, you know, you could have, like, a rotation of double Gamma 2 on one turn, and you could one turn Cell Max, and maybe he doesn't super attack or something like that. You could, right? Like, it's possible, but almost all these times, you're not killing these bosses before they get these super attacks off. You have to give yourself a fighting chance. And it's like, yeah, you have the toppest tier characters in the game, Gamma 1, LR Vegeta and Trunks, Carnival Goku, characters like this who are able to receive these hits from these bosses, and then keep fighting. I just think that's just so much more valuable than these characters that are, like, you know, putting up tons of damage. It really is. I will take a character like Gamma 1 over a character like, I don't know, Physical Super Saiyan 3 Goku any day of the week. Gamma 1, like, this run, I want to say this maybe took like 5 attempts or something like that. I don't know exactly how many attempts. I can tell you that the recording file was 28 minutes long. So oh yeah, this. Yeah, okay, yeah, okay, this might take a second, because I let out a hearty laugh right here. I had to run to Twitter to put up a screenshot of, oh, what do you guys... So far, this has happened twice, where a crazy situation has happened, and I've just, like, sort of put out, like, a picture or something on Twitter and been like, can I live? And both times I've won so far, so I'm gonna keep doing that. So Gamma 1, if we put Gamma 1 in slot 1, it auto-win. Like, we won. But Gamma 1 gets locked in the middle slot. Gamma 2 can't sit in slot. I mean, I guess my Gamma 2 does have dodge, right? So maybe we could try. But my Gamma 2, this is a run where he wasn't able to build up. He didn't get a lot of attacks, right? Based off the opening rotations. So we can't really rely on Gamma 2 to be able to tank. Gamma 2 does get to a level, especially after he super attacks, where he can tank. So it's up to Baby Janemba. So Baby Janemba, the way he works is he has a 50% chance to dodge, and then every time he dodges, he gets an extra 12% chance to dodge, and my Baby Janemba is built with full dodge in the potential system as well. Now I'm going to tell y'all right now, Baby Janemba cannot survive a normal attack. We would die. I'm pretty sure a normal attack, like, if one of those 2 hits connect, we die. We lost. It would have been GG. But Baby Janemba clutches through. Again, dodge, man. You know, it's not a surprise that, oh, I don't really have so much of a, you know, problem with the difficulty of these events, and I've been building my characters defensively for a while now, and, you know, oh my god, the events are hitting too hard. Try dodge. Hello? I've only been telling y'all to try dodge a lot. It's not as bad as people pretend it is, right? You're not typically blitzing a lot of these bosses in one turn, unless it's Gamma 2 boosted in this event, or you set up like a nuking turn for like Dokkan Fest Pan with her active skill, which is like the hardest hitting hit in the game, right? So give your characters defense. We're only going to get more stages like Cell Max and Broly and shit like that. Although, to be fair, Broly can't dodge, right? But dodge is very good, as y'all saw. I mean, we won off of the dodges, man. So it is what it is. Let me know what y'all think. This was the special... No, this is an artificial life form run. No item. We will do the special pose mission as well. Thanks, guys, for watching. And I'll catch y'all next time.